1v1 tournaments.
See what happens.
Anivia is one of Kira's signature champions.
Yeah, it is.
I think he actually did play it in previous 1v1
I think he did too.
I can't remember which year it was, but I definitely remember him using it as well.
I remember seeing it as well. Well, we'll see what happens. Say, of course, a absolute juggernaut domestically. 10 LAN titles for his team, and he's on almost all of them, I'm pretty sure. Just actually has been amazing. So no surprise to see him here because he's been one of the absolute domestics, just juggernauts. Kira, of course, very similar. I think he's just by far the best mid laner in the region. And we get to wait to see what comes in next as a couple of marksman bands come over. Lucian, Anivia, waiting for what's next. I actually am sad we didn't see any Lucian mid at Worlds. I really thought it was going to be a big champion, and we never saw it at all. So I thought Lucian was good, and he's been a viable mid laner before, but there's the Caitlyn.
Okay, yeah, everybody going with the range here.
Yeah.
No jokes around. This is probably going to be Grasp Caitlyn as well. That's been very, very common in solo queue nowadays. You stack up a lot of extra health, and the sustain goes such a long way. Especially in this situation where they know it is just going to be this extended 1v1.
Yep.
But again, Varus is a very good 1v1 champion as well.
Yep.
See how well he can actually combo and land the arrows to try and proc light attacks whenever he can as well.
Yeah, I do expect Emax just because I feel like that's like the easier one to hit and you get a lot of bang for your buck with ranks. But yeah, we'll see. I feel like both champions have a decent sort of ability to hard push and take over the lane. Yeah. Caitlyn, of course, with a 75 range lead, can camp and brush, can prevent brush usage by putting traps down.
And you definitely should be in brush as much as possible. Extra headshot generation is so big. And as you said, she gets a lot of control because of the traps being hidden there, in addition to the extra range.
Yep. I think my favorite part about the 1v1 is these players on voice comms together.
Yeah.
That's actually my favorite thing. So they're like talking, like who they're talking to? Their opponent.
I actually love the listen-ins.
Yeah.
When we have the jokes.
They are really good. I'm a fan. But we are onto the Rift, or the Abyss, I guess. Very rare get to cast that way. Heal versus Barrier. Well, actually, sorry, Heal versus Flash. They both have Barrier.
We actually had way more Howling in the Earth mode than we did on Howling Abyss.
Yep.
Oh, Comet hits.
Yeah. And the ease is slow, so it actually guarantees you're going to land that Comet afterwards.
That's 100% the way to go.
And smart of the instant recall, that's good.
Yep, Scorch, absolute
Yeah.
focus, pretty much everything standard.
Yeah. One minor benefit Seiya got, he has 25 more mana. Because he triggered mana flow band, that trade was technically a disadvantage for Kira.
Nice.
It probably won't matter at all.
I mean, we say that. Look how little mana they had at the end of the last one.
That's true. That's true. You know
mana
what?
is key.
25. 25. All right, so here is Revitalize. So he's got some healing to go in for himself. Second win, of course. Those will actually combo together pretty decently. And Demolish.
That's Demolish, baby. We could see him go for turret destruction. This is what a lot of people actually have been discussing, even for Summoner's Rift, to have Caitlyn, pushing the waves. Grasp is so common for the trades, but then getting up and getting money off of the turret. Plating in Summoner's Rift, very viable strategy. Here, it's just going to give you a win if you take down the turret. Yeah. So even more valuable than turret plating gold.
Yeah, very first game I played in preseason was double Demolish bot lane. Yep. I was playing with my friend who is semi-active, and I was like, you're taking Demolish no matter what. I don't care who you're playing, you're taking Demolish. I think he was playing Thresh, so he's like, yeah, sure, okay. This is a good trading. Wow, Eing forward, that is... I think it's a health minus trade, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Seiya, pretty good reactions there to it. Got the better of the trade. Pushing the wave as well, trying to get Kira under turret. Shouldn't underestimate the attack speed from the passive there for Varus as well, once he starts chaining these minion kills together.
You get a lot of pushing out of it. And I expect him to have some attack speed from his adaptive rune choices as well. Because normally with Sorcery Inspiration, you think, oh, it has to be raw AD, but I would expect 10% attack speed just from the rune choice there, because I think you want the auto attack pushing more than you want 6 attack damage.
Agree. I like the confidence here too. I mean, he's going arrow. He just lands the arrow point blank without setting it up with E at all. Pretty accurate so far as the trading. But again, Caitlyn finally retakes control, as she's going to do for the minion wave. Gets it into turret. A couple more CS here. Let's see if he can actually finish this off and get the wave to crash. Seiya running lower on the mana now. trying to use the arrows through the minion wave to clean these up, and it's 22-27.
Yeah, it's almost tieable based on the farm here, but of course we can see an easier recall. He's going to jump forward. That's a nice headshot back, yeah.
Sacrifices 3 minions at the turret, including a cannon.
Okay, if he's trying to stay, it's a good barrier, though, because it's not about, like, baiting not dying. It's about, okay, he blocked max damage with that barrier. So if Kira plans to stay out on the map, and honestly, with a health bar lead, he can. Yeah. That's actually a really good barrier. And he can probably force a worse recall down the line because of his health speed. That's a nice shot, though. That's going to make it really hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big difference in the rune choices, right? You get your bigger trades off of these Comet confirms on your E, but Kira sustains back up, hits another grass proc, and gets to sustain this extra maximum health he'll get to keep for the entirety of the game.
And I think he tried to Summoner heal while he was low enough for Revitalize to grant bonus HP. Right? It's like a 5% bonus healing, and then 10% more when you're low, and I think he's like, okay, I'm that low. He might have even pinged his health bar and said 39%. He's like, that's the time.
It's definitely early, but that is the excuse that I always use if I get autofilled to AD carry and I panic heal early.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's going to come off of cooldown earlier also, and I got higher value out of it. Hello.
And you want to heal before Ignite lands where it gets cut in half. Exactly. Like, it's actually, yeah, I will early heal my support if they get hooked because I'm expecting Ignite. And then if they don't Ignite, I'm just like, okay, well, that was a waste. Yeah. Good barrier. Right, so yeah, those early barriers are really smart. Blocks the ult, but pressing it on cooldown.
This resource management is really, really important for this push. That's why you can see these guys using their summoners, trying to get the most out of each one. Blocks full damage on the ultimate here. Doesn't get a stop.
But he gets a push, and it's a decent push. He's going to be able to catch up and farm. Yeah, 45 each. And most of that will get missed.
The melees for sure.
Yeah. Oh, casters. I think the other three casters are out of range. Yeah. So Kira has more CS, like for gold on the table. But yeah, Kira does. But I think Seiya is going to overall have more XP available, depending on how much this wave gets denied.
I think this one might go to CS, honestly. When you have Varus versus Caitlyn, all-ins are super rare, especially with these defensive summoner spells. Maybe level 6 when Seiya gets Chains of Corruption is the possibility. But I expect them to try and play.
Whoa, never mind. This could be a kill. He's going against a trap. That's big damage. He's going to kite back. Doesn't want to take the all-in just yet.
Okay, yeah. Again, the minion wave is pushing, so that's why Kira's going for these super aggressive nets. Yeah. Otherwise, that's a crazy move.
Yeah. So there's a mechanic or an interaction I want to bring up right now. So Caitlyn is the only champion of the game where your move block, like your dash, doesn't go anywhere if you're rooted or stunned. So if the net casts a little bit too late and the ult already hits you, Kira will go nowhere. Which means if he's late on reaction, that will be a wasted escape, and there's no flashes for him. So, like, in ult flash for Seiya, there's probably no way out for Kira. It'll probably land too quickly. And that's kind of like, I think, the window that now Seiya has to try to use. Now, barriers back up for Kira. That's a big deal. The all-in will be harder as a result. Now there's a health bar lead, but...
Yeah, he wasn't able to land that hail of arrows either, because Kira's positioning so aggressive.
Big damage. There's the ult. He might have the damage. Barrier's on, but he might have the damage. Q's going to land. 2 more shots will kill him.
Oh, he's got flash. What?
Q's in 5 seconds.
Oh, there's so much sustain, though. They're both chugging potions, so they're both healing right back up.
Yeah.
All right. Check in on the minions again. It's dead tied, but there are more minions here pushing. The decent cannons moving and pushing towards Seiya. He's trying to clear them out so he can get back as well for a recall.
Yeah, there's no way you can stay in lane against someone who just recall with this little health, so he's going to shove it in. There it goes. It will crash into the turret, lose 1 melee, and then the cannon will tank.
All right. He's looking for the kill. He's going lethality build here.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to wait on his ultimate to come back up. It looks like that is going to come back up before the barrier, but Kira will have heal.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good odds for Seiya. He's going to be able to flash ultimate, has his own barrier for the all-in.
Yeah.
So it all really comes down to, can he land the ult?
I think Seiya, so one good thing for Kira is the fact that he has the extra move speed. The boots too is pretty useful. You can dodge the comet there. Maybe he can sidestep something if it's not a flash ult.
Yeah, I mean, the idea, of course, for Varus is to try and soften up the Caitlyn a little bit before you do your all-in. That's why Kira's chugging his potion right now, even though he's almost full health. All right, he's on the turret, though. Demolish activated.
It's not going to be that much damage, though. Like, I don't think he'll ever win by turret. CS is, like, too close to equal. Okay, there's barrier down. Doesn't block all the damage it can, but it's still pretty good.
Is he baiting here with this trap? What was that?
I don't know, but it's an 8 CS lead for Seiya, so like, he can also play it slow. He can actually play just for the grind. And if he doesn't drop too many of the turret, he's fine. He's up 10. Like, this is...
Yeah, and again, there's not a lot of ways for Caitlyn to all in. The summonerless Caitlyn, he's got to just push hard on the turret, wait for his demolish to come back up.
And maybe that's the thing, right? There's 2 waves. Here comes the all, bit of an all-in. Good damage here. Watch out for the trap. Gets away from it. Good Q lands.
Yep, procs those stacks.
He's 2 waves from winning, though. Kira has this wave and next wave.
Not a lot of mana extra either. It's coming down to it. 5 more minions for Seiya.
And he doesn't have to push as well.
The next minion wave is the end of the game.
And Kira can't threaten the turret. He's got to find a way to get the kill, but his health bar's at 400 with no suns. And Seiya has flash. Like, I don't think this is possible for Kira.
Yeah. What's he going to do?
He's got to, though.
97.
All right, he's going to cheat up because he has to. But there's no way he can threaten for farm.
So there's no summoner spells either. I mean, Seiya just sitting back looking for those CS.
One. There's 2-3, it's over. Well done, Seiya. Another Latin American representative moving on in the bracket. Nicely done. And Kira, yeah, I mean, he was checkmated. There's no way you find that all in.
Yeah, really nice play there from Seiya, especially at the end, too. You can tell they're 100% focused on denying any sort of comeback for the opponent. Stays well back, able to land the last couple of CS here. Hits the arrow,
and
into the E, it's done.
Yeah, he knows those 3 CS are going over to him.
That's the type of game that you're looking for when they opt into the marksman versus marksman setup.
Yeah. Like, even though it was super, super high sustain, right?
Yeah.
Like, he had second win. He's running with Revitalize, Heal, and Barrier. There's so much sustain on the Caitlyn plus the Grasp, and still got pushed out by the Mana Flow Band Emax. Like, that was just so much poke. Seiya landed it.
If we had competitive 1v1s all year round, do you think it would get to a point where it was always, this type of meta, Caitlyn Grasp and the occasional Varus or Lucian or something like that?
I think it would get like sort of solved. I don't know what the solved state would be. Like, that is definitely beyond like my scope to like theory craft it.
Yeah, but if you reduce the variables down to 1 champion per each time,
okay,
it becomes pretty easy to solve.
Of course, but the way I would envision it is either it comes down to an exact mirror match is the only match. Like, people will figure out uncountable champions. Okay, those get banned, or you're willing to mirror them. Okay, whatever, and that's fine. Or you're like, okay, well, I'm blind picking X, you're blind picking Y, which is blind pick countered by Z, and you're just like.